Could somebody tell me what kind of a world we live in where a man dressed up as a bat gets all of my press? This day needs a special show, and that is why we are here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special presentation of Hanging with Web Show Web TV in cooperation with all the other members of the Hanging with Web Show Web TV family, such as Nerd Culture, as you can see our logo up in the corner there, this way. Is that where it is? There it is. I am your host for tonight's festivities. My name is Ryan of Nerd Culture. I'm very happy to be here. We're going to have a wonderful time discussing our favorite moments, favorite memories of the famous character known as the Dark Knight. And we want to hear from you as well. So if you have any favorite moments about Batman, whether they be from a comic book, a TV series, a movie, or some other form of media or medium, please drop them in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Joining us for this special show tonight, I'm going to start with our friend of the Great White North because we love her to pieces. Willow, how are you doing tonight, my love?
The one who can't control her frickin' camera.
She's doing her best impression of Heath Ledger's Joker.
The villains have taken over the feed, and I cannot get my shit straight.
That's okay. That's one way of introducing yourself. Are you happy to be here?
I am very happy to be here. If only I can get better headroom here.
Well, if you need to take a moment to adjust your studio or your settings within your studio, please do so as I go to our next panelist. He is a wonderful artist, a wonderful human being who likes to crack jokes and make trouble for everybody around him. Josh Bauer of J. Bauer Art is with us tonight. Josh, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be happier. I mean, my face is on the $1 bill. I got a nice car in my garage. I got all these wonderful toys to play with. I'm just excited. That may have come out wrong. But anyway, our next members of the panels, other members of the panel tonight are from the Hanging with Web Show Web TV family. That would be Sage and a mysterious man wearing a mysterious mask. How are you tonight, folks?
I'm Batman. No. Hey, everybody. I'm actually...
Oh, now a dorky man.
I'm really hot in this damn thing, is what I am.
Hey, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh, my Lord. All right, I have nothing after... Look. Hey, it's me.
Paige, we can't hear you.
I have nothing after that.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm GW Pomacher, and this is...
Sage, yeah.
And we are from the Hanging with Web Show right here on HWWS Web TV. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Ryan, for hosting an amazing panel.
Yes,
well, we haven't done it yet. We don't know if it's amazing yet.
Yeah. We're not sure if this
All of these people are absolutely amazing, except for the people that are here in the screen. All the people in the chat are absolutely amazing. I don't even know who they are because I can't see the chat room. But...
I don't know where to go with that. But anyway, we're going to go somewhere anyway, and that is a wonderful place. We're going to go around the room. We're going to start things off. And for those of you watching us live, whether it be through Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all the other platforms we are streaming on right now, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We do appreciate it. If you have any thoughts or comments about the craziness of these people that are on screen or maybe the people working behind the scenes, feel free to drop some friendly neighborhood feedback within the comments below because I'm sure they would love to hear about it at Film at 11. But to kick things off, it's Batman Day here, ladies and gentlemen, and all the local comic stores, a lot of folks around the world are celebrating by watching movies, reading their favorite comics, or playing their favorite Arkham game, and so on and so forth. Because Lord knows, when you mention the word Arkham, people are going to want to get into a heavy debate or heavy discussion with you. That is a fact, Jack. But we're going to kick things off with how each member of our panels, or each member of our panel this evening, was introduced to the character of the Dark Knight. So I will go ahead and I will start this off just to give everyone a bit time to put together that wonderful moment when they were introduced to the Dark Knight's craziness. For me, it was granted, this was a few years after this movie had come out, don't get me wrong, but I was introduced to Batman through a wonderful film simply called Batman from Tim Burton. Wonderful film featuring Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger, who does nothing but scream a lot in this movie, but at the same time, she does have some clever lines, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very true. It's very true. And also, our good friend Alexander Knox, Robert Wool, fantastic job in that movie. I love that character to pieces. If they ever recast him for a pseudo, Infinite Earths reboot and they need Alexander Knox's son or his doppelganger, please give me a call. Thanks. Can I have a grant? Anyway, that was how I was introduced to The Dark Knight. I love that movie. I can quote it from beginning to end, no question whatsoever. I can do it. Don't test me, because otherwise we'll be here all night. that's how I was introduced to the character. I love it to pieces. So I'm going to go over to, what's his name? Oh, yeah, Josh. How are you introduced to the character known
I know that guy.
as Batman?
I was trying to think because we were talking about it a little bit before we hopped on live, and I couldn't remember if it was because I just always remember loving Batman and always having it in my life. I can't remember. I don't know if there was a full moment where you popped in. The one I can remember most though is getting into the animated series, the original Batman animated series. I watched the hell out of that cartoon when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure that kicked everything off. And then I figured out that there was movies out there, and I remember because I don't remember getting into. I might have seen the Tim Burton ones, but didn't really figure it out. But I remember being more into them when they did Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I remember going in like the McDonald's cups and the McDonald's commercials for those movies and going and seeing those in the theaters. But I don't remember the first two as much. So I think it was really the animated series. And then I started finding everything else after that and just became obsessed with everything Batman that comes out.
Fascinating stuff. We're going to go to our friend over here, the friend of the Great White North, Willow. How were you introduced to this character, this mystical being known as the Dark Knight?
Well, like you, I watched the movie. In fact.
Oh, we're pulling out visual props on this show.
I love that. That is so cool.
I picked this up from a friend of mine who was selling it. And I'm like, no, I gotta have it. So that's been hanging out on my window and by my back porch. So that's the first thing that greets people when they come to my house.
No, that's not creepy at all.
That's the weirdest thing.
Seeing Joker's face in the window keeps, I would hope, keeps thieves away, but. But yeah, no, the movie definitely was what got me, piqued my interest. And then, of course, like Josh said, it was the Batman animated series. And I'm trying to get my car out of his box.
We need you to get in the car. Which one?
There we go.
Cue the Danny Elfman score. There it is.
Look at it.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, well, for showing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if we're going to go show and tell, Josh has something to bring to the table in just a moment. I'm going to let him take a moment to do so. Willow, where do you get those wonderful toys?
Walmart has them for $10. The little ones. I think the bigger ones. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got to get on that. Well, look at Josh's Batmobile.
Nice.
Hey, Willow, mine's
Josh's
bigger.
Batmobile.
That's a line that he's been waiting to use his whole life.
Whole life. It's the only
Yeah.
time I've been able to use it. But yeah, this thing is a beast. It's heavy as hell. And for those that don't know, I'm sorry to interrupt with our normal.
Oh, no,
this is going to happen
sure.
a lot tonight. But Lego just announced today that they are coming out with a 1989 the Batwing. It is going to be the Batwing coming out in October. So I've already told my mother-in-law, who was awesome enough to buy me this last Christmas, that I want that for this Christmas. So that will be coming soon, hopefully. I've been a good boy, so I should get one.
By the way, Josh, me and my husband have one, and we have the light kit to go with it. We just have to figure out how to put it together with the light kit.
So many Batmobiles, so many. A wise man once said, "So much to do in so little time." Photos. Garrett and Sage, we got to hear from you. How are you introduced to this character known as Batman?
All right. Well, I was actually fascinated listening to everybody's introduction to Batman from Michael Keaton's era and, of course, from George Clooney's era, because Josh was introduced during Batman and Robin and Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. But I actually grew up. I was a 1970s kid, guys, and the 1960s Batman series was in syndication. It's always been in syndication, ever since I was a child to now, when you guys are here.
Holy old people, Batman.
That's right, holy old people, Batman. And I was introduced to Batman watching TV, watching cartoons, watching it, in the afternoon or whatever, and then all of a sudden this crazy 1960s Batman would come in. Awesome Batmobile, that's right. Probably one of the
best one.
up until they changed the shapes and things of it. The Batmobile was a pretty standard car. But after the 1960s Batman, they started playing with shapes and ideas, and so they introduced that Batmobile, which now became a model for future. Hey, you can do anything with this because you can have a rocket engine, you can have all this stuff, and they did some amazing things with it afterwards. And then they took it to the next level with Christian Bale, where they actually did some really cool things with it. But that Batmobile in 1960s series is actually the introduction of a Batmobile as a unique car, rather than just being, an extra car that Bruce has hanging around. So, but that's what I was introduced through the '60s series. As was, I see we have. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm really sorry, sir. Godofredo.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. His earliest was watching the 1960s Batman show too in reruns. Yeah, they were syndicated on television when we were kids. And Josh Bauer's here. Wow. It's so meta. He's here, but he's there, but he's here,
Two
but he's
different
there.
places. He's in two places at once.
Wow. So yeah, that's where I got introduced to it. And you know what though? Everybody was showing off their Batman toys. But I got to tell you, and Josh was very proud. He finally, it took him 30 years to finally be able to look at somebody in the face and say, "Mine's bigger."
True.
Now here's the thing though.
It's the only time.
I got mine from Josh, but mine's bigger.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh.
because I have cosplay Michael, and the Joker coming.
It's great, isn't it?
So
Nice.
there. I don't mean to ruin it for you, Josh,
Penny boo boo.
but there. That was Sage's idea. But yeah, no. I've
Hey,
been
you
a
said
fan
it
ever
correctly,
since.
by the way, there, Garrett.
My kids grew up with the animated series, and then of course with Michael Keaton's Batman, and so I remember being super excited when they announced Tim Burton and Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and I was like,
yes.
Wow,
Yes.
because I had already, by then I was an adult and I had already gotten into the comics and I had already seen the source material, and so the idea that we were going to get a live action Batman and it wasn't going to be for kids, it was going to be for young adults, teens, and I thought that was just killer. I was like, hey. Because the '60s Batman actually started out. The first couple episodes are actually very tonally serious, very serious Batman, detective Batman, and then by around the third or fourth episode of the '60s series, they had decided that their primary audience that was being affected were children, and they wanted to get let's do it. If we're going to bank on this, let's bank on it. So they went all in. And they went all in and made it campy and funny and very kids friendly. Those first couple episodes are like die-hard bank heists and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, the villains start to show up, the Batman villains, because they want to make it fun and campy and for kids. So I grew up on that, and then thinking that Batman was coming to the theater, I was like, oh, this is gonna rock. This is gonna be so cool. And then watching kids show up and be like, this is their Batman. This is Ryan's Batman. You guys were showing up in droves, and you were like, "That's a Batman I can get behind." And I was like, "See, that's."
That's it. Our Batman wasn't bad because I also had the Adam West version, but I remember when we had drama back in school, and we would watch the old Batmans and turn the volume down, and that was our lesson. Everybody had to be the voice of what you saw on the screen, which was a lot of fun because there was a great amount of fodder there.
That actually sounds like an epic,
Yes.
fun
But
theater
that's how
exercise.
that's how I actually really got into Batman. Was
That's
through
nice.
Those drama exercises.
That's cool.
That was awesome.
That is
Back to Ryan.
It's fascinating. What was it? By the way, you did pronounce this gentleman's name right. He says you said correctly. Godofredo, and he also says Jack Nicholson was smart enough to ask for some merchandising money when he was playing.
He
the
also
character
is
of the Joker.
he made. I don't know if you guys know this. I know Godofredo probably does. He also was one of the first stars at that time in Hollywood to actually ask for points. Points are a percentage of a film. He wanted a percentage of the box office, and one of his biggest concerns as an actor, from what I'm told and from interviews I've seen from then, was his biggest concern was the fact that he knew that this character was iconic. He loved that they were going to let him do it his way, and it gave him some freedom. But he also did have the concern that, hey, if I do a great Joker, I'm Joker forever. And Jack Nicholson has been a serious actor since the 1950s and 60s and 70s. So the idea that, I'm going to do this character and it's so iconic, I might be the Joker forever. He was smart. He asked for points, and they gave them to him. And so he got merchandising. He got a percentage of the box office. And I think he probably did quite well. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's not hurting.
No.
He's probably doing better than most of us, or all of us,
Yeah,
together.
Man, that's crazy. Before we go to the next question for the round table here, it kind of reminds me of that speech he gives towards the end of the first act of the movie, where he's saying, "So, gentlemen, that's how it is," until Grissom resurfaces. "I'm the acting president, and I say, starting with this anniversary festival, we run the city into the ground. Why don't we hear this from Grissom? Yeah, what's with that stupid grin? Life's been good to me."
Yes, it
Anyway,
has. Yes, it
like I
has,
said, I can
Jack.
quote the movie all night, folks. I can quote it all night with this. And Josh knows this. He's known me
Yep.
for too long. But the next question I have on everyone's for the round table here. Some of your favorite moments featuring this character. Obviously, we've talked about the '89 film. One of my other favorite moments was Mask of the Phantasm from the animated series, the movie that came out in '93 that was only out for a very limited time because it wasn't doing so well in the box office. It didn't get a huge marketing campaign for it at the time, but became a huge hit on home video, huge following, and for good reason too. I rewatched the film earlier today, and I'm like, dang, this is a good film. So I mean, it's a 75-minute movie, but they put all this great stuff in it, and they keep it tight, and it's so good. It left me wanting more because the performances of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and Dana Delaney as Andrea Beaumont, there was a sweet number. How did you let her get loose? And all these other characters, and I'm thinking, man, solid stuff. So that's one of my favorite moments when it comes to the graphic novels, because I didn't get into comics until much later on. But hey, you know what they say, folks? Better late than never. Batman Hush, I think it's fantastic. I think Batman The Long Halloween is another great one, another great graphic novel. If anyone hasn't read those two, strongly recommend it. Also, and Josh brought this up earlier, yes, the Val Kilmer film, the 97 film known as Batman and Robin that we don't talk about. And obviously the Dark Knight trilogy and all that other stuff that came after it, because those were some good moments too, with good performances and good films and good stuff like that. But we could talk about those for hours. But yeah, those are some of my favorite moments featuring the character, and definitely looking forward to seeing what comes next. So Willow, what were some of your favorite moments featuring this character in whatever medium?
One of my favorite moments, Batman Mask of the Phantasm is definitely one of my favorites. I loved that. I loved Andrea Beaumont so much, and the fact that it was a Batman villain that was a woman that nobody knew it was a woman until like the very end, and it's just like, whoa.
Spoilers.
It's been over 30 years. If you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, in 3 years that movie's going to turn 30.
But it was... Watch it, people. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to watch it. Sorry for the spoilers.
No, it's all right. I'm sure people watching this have heard of this movie. If not, they've already seen it.
I always lose track of how long we're allowed to. But definitely, I want to show you guys.
More visual props?
Not that.
Hey, look, it's us and us and us.
There was almost two
That
Willows
was
in the room.
That's too much trouble on one screen. My wife,
say, that
that's
was a little
actually my wife's
trippy,
worst nightmare,
as they
too, of
say.
me.
You're
Sorry,
sharing the
there we
wrong
go.
screen, Willow. That's us on top of with us inside of the. Oh my God, it's so crazy.
Wow.
This is
Okay, you know
Inception,
what?
a dream within a dream within a dream, which is also
Technology
happens to be
doesn't
a
want
Chris
to work
Nolan
for me
movie.
today, so I'm just gonna leave it. I dress up as the Phantasm. I'm sorry I couldn't find the costume fully for this broadcast, so I decided to pull together a makeshift Poison Ivy for you guys, which is another character that I really loved and enjoy, and I really am looking forward to doing a little bit more with Poison Ivy in the future, because
There we go.
There's the picture Willow was trying to bring up to our viewers at home.
Oh boy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Teamwork,
Sorry.
baby, teamwork.
Cool.
I'm the mother of Bobcats and Breaker of Electronics. I can't work this crap.
Very nice.
I
Very
got
nice,
your back,
Willow.
Willow. Don't worry.
See, Josh knows what's up.
Sometimes.
But
But
I've
that's
been
cool.
inspired by. I've been as a cosplayer. I've been inspired by the Batman characters for many, many years, and the way that Bruce Timm draws characters as well is fantastic, and I love the whole pinup style. So like the whole winged eyes and the makeup and hair, just I don't know. Batman just has this, 1940s, 1930s vibe, film noir vibe to it, and it's always been that way. Modernizing it, they've been trying to modernize, but for some reason they still continue to keep it in along the 40s or 50s vibe to it, and I just love it. Someone else.
Yeah. I'm not even. Josh, have we gone to you yet on this question?
Not yet. I was waiting for you to go. Okay,
All right,
Garrett.
well then, Josh, you have the floor. Yeah, you have the floor. Go. Yeah,
We're
because
gonna
we all know
skip it.
Garrett will talk for 3 hours and
What?
he won't stop the pain.
What?
Not my-
Josh, please
they do.
continue.
It's
What are some of
really
your favorite moments featuring this
frightening.
character?
Ah, man, I've been trying to think because there's just so many different ones. The first one that comes to mind is the Batman Arkham games, the video games, because not only were they fantastic Batman games, but they were fantastic games in general and changed the way video games were done in a lot of ways, especially for superheroes. And between the first and second one, you had Arkham Asylum and then Arkham City. Especially Arkham City, it changed this open world style of a map, and you seriously got to be Batman. That is the closest way you're ever going to be Batman ever. And I played the hell out of those games, and have been actually, because Batman's always coming up here and there. I've been wanting to play them again, and because they're just so fun to go back and play, and the storylines in them, and what they were able to do, because you're basically getting a live, almost realistic version of a comic book, because you can only do so much in the movies to keep it somewhat realistic. But these games, holy shit. Just certain styles and certain ways they were able to pull stuff off were fantastic. And then my next one would be, what was the other one? I had it. And then, yes, Batman: The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's second film. That is, somebody actually asked what your favorite Jokers are, and that is my favorite Joker, hands down. Everybody's done a great job. Everybody has their own style, and I always like the meme where every Joker that's been out is a specific type of Joker. There's the gangster Joker, the anarchist, the comedian, the this, the that. But just pure anarchy and a person that, like they say, just wants to watch the world burn is Heath Ledger's Joker. And that whole movie, I can rewatch that movie at any point in time. When I had cable and it'd randomly be on, I don't care what part it was, beginning, end, whatever, I always just ended up watching it because it's such a fun movie to rewatch and was just so good. Now I will be happy when it's usually the beginning of the movie, because that first 20 minutes of the bank heist, it doesn't even have Batman in it.
Yeah.
He's nowhere to be seen. But man, that movie is just that opening sequence is just, and the music and everything in it, just it gives me goosebumps even now just thinking about it. It just But yeah, and then I've always dug the cartoons. The animated series was amazing. There's actually a animated series that came out early 2000s just called The Batman, and it was 2D animation, and it was like a retelling of Batman's beginnings and how different characters came to be, and little twists on some people here and there, and reimagining of things. And if you have never seen the Batman series, I highly suggest you watch season 1 and 2. The rest of the seasons, they get a little not so great. I wouldn't say bad. They're just not the first 2 seasons. But man, that's a fun show to watch, and a very it's a different Bruce Wayne, a different Batman, and all your favorite characters are very different in it, but in a very cool way. That's all I got.
Okay, I've got to
Really good stuff. Really good stuff. So we're gonna go over to Sage.
Sage,
You go
you
right
got
ahead, and
something.
Garrett,
My
you're gonna have
favorite
30
Batman?
seconds. If you go over that, I'm gonna have to remove you from this
Okay, well,
studio, and I
that's why I'm
don't want to
talking
do
first.
that on my first day on the job of running an actual hanging with web show, web TV stream. So please don't make me do that. Sage, your
You're pulling a
thoughts on
Garrett.
some of your favorite moments featuring a character known as the Batman.
I love.
Thank you, Sage.
my
That was great.
I love Lego Batman.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Damn, I didn't.
Ah,
That is. Boy, you just absolutely blew my train of thought. Holy train wreck, Batman. So no, but I love the Lego Batman because I had so much fun with him because you always see Batman. He's so serious, and he's so dark. Even our Adam West Batman was always very serious. You know what I mean? But Lego Batman was able to be serious and really silly at the same time, and they enjoyed making fun of him. And the thing about Batman that I always loved though was he always had anything he needed. That utility belt, even when I was little, I thought that would be the coolest thing in the world to have because anything you ever wanted would all of a sudden be where you needed it. So that was kind of awesome. But those are my two. And the third one I suppose is not necessarily a Batman. Just like Willow said, she loves all the characters that surround the Batman world, but my new favorite that I've gotten into, very new, of course, is the Titans. And we wouldn't have them, if it weren't for Robin himself. So I love all of the supporting characters in the Batman universe. And now it's your turn.
I thought I made it clear. It was my turn whenever I wanted it to be.
Boy, I'm really trying.
Take out half the screen, Ryan. Are we able to do that? Is this slide over this way a bit?
No,
I don't know
I-
if I can. man.
favorite-
Like I said, it's my first
favorite-
day on the job. I don't know if I have the ability to do it.
Yeah, favorite moment. That's so hard. And again, it's mostly because
Oh.
there's so much material. I mean, it is. What happened?
Brian Winslow just put a good one of an animated movie.
Oh, let me see. Batman
Under the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Again, there it is, guys. There's so many great moments. I think if I go to film, that'd be the easiest place to do it. In video or film or movies. I think. Yeah. Nice. Thank you, Alfred. Wonderful. Yes.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. That's right. They all know. I have to say, I'm a sucker for an origin story. So I really did enjoy the Dark Knight trilogy. And I really enjoyed the way that they meshed some of the comic mythologies together to create their own something unique. And I do enjoy that. I know a lot of comic fans really love it when they are faithful or really true to the source material. But I actually love it when a new creator gets involved and he says, hey, let's take this to another direction or in a new level without disrespecting or disregarding the source material, but rather than, just building a new mythos. And I thought that Christopher Nolan's series did that really, really well, and I enjoyed that. I also enjoy it when they, do a little fan service. So if I had to have a second favorite moment, and these guys are going to love this and hate it at the same time, because as a nostalgia seeker, there is an unscripted line in that Batman and Robin that everybody hates. There's one unscripted line, and it was Chris O'Donnell making fun of the '60s series. when they land on the Riddler's island, he looks at the island because it's a floating thing, and he goes, "Holy rusted metal, Batman!" And it's meant to mean it's made out of holy rusted metal. And they explain it later on. But he delivered that line with almost a complete straight face. And anybody who grew up on that 60s series kind of just looked and went, God, that was just Chris O'Donnell saying, I want to play with this. And I really enjoyed that moment thinking, I wonder if that was in the script. And then I read and I found out, no, it wasn't. It was just Chris O'Donnell playing with the part. And
that's awesome. I didn't know
moment.
that.
Yeah, no, it was. It was not a scripted moment. It was just him, and I guess the line was, "What's this thing made of?" Or how did this thing get here? And instead of quipping back with his line, he went, "Holy rusted metal, Batman," and it was, holy rusted metal. That's what it is. And I was like, "Oh my God, that was just playful and fun and probably the best part. That's the redeeming quality in that movie. Aside from the fact that it has Jim Carrey near it, but he was too over the top for that character. So that
See, I
again,
still love
again,
that one.
again, Ryan, you could take us in that direction anytime you want to, because that one is that's a controversial movie because everybody delivered an over the top performance. I think it was too many over the top performances in the same screen.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have that many people going that wackadoo in the same time.
I feel like they were trying to. I think because Jim Carrey was part of it, and he has very high energy. I think everybody was trying to match his energy.
Trying to keep up, and that might be it.
That's very true. Him and Tommy Lee Jones did not get along. Did not get along together on set very well because they had two different ways of approaching their characters. And Jim was all energy like me. I would be like him on set because that's just how I am. I'm electrifying people. Look it up. Tommy Lee Jones is complete opposite. He's very serious, but no. I can still rewatch Batman Forever and still enjoy it to a certain degree. Do I enjoy it as much as other Batman films? No, but I still like it, and I remember the McDonald's glasses.
I have mine around somewhere.
So don't take that away from me. If you have those, I want you to bring them to the studio. Do it. But anyway,
I have Batman. I think.
Yeah, no, Batman Forever. I can have fun with that. It is what it is. I like the film for what it is. They try to explore the psyche of Bruce Wayne a little bit in that movie, and I thought that was a nice touch. You know,
it's kind of in a goofy way. Like it would be cool to do.
I should have done that. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It was a cool concept when they tried to explore the psyche. They just did it in this.
It just wasn't executed all the way.
Yeah,
well, I think they were playing. They were playing with that. They were exploring the psyche of Bruce Wayne on one side and trying to exploit that exploration for the love interest on the other side. And I think that fell flat because you got to pick one or the other. Are we going to dive into this guy's psyche, or is she going to fall in love with him? Because if she dives into his psyche, she can't be in love with him. Because she'll find out he's crazy. That's the whole thing that we love about him. He's crazy. So,
I had a hard time liking Nicole Kidman in that role.
I didn't. If I were on set, I would be nice to her. Everything will be just fine. Dr. Chase Meridian, and what a lovely pursuit you must be, as my boy Jim Carrey would say. Or no, he says, what a grand pursuit you must be. I'm sorry, I got to retract my lines. Sorry.
Shame, you're fired.
I will say this, though. You bring up Batman Forever. Garrett, your entrance was good. Mine was better. The difference? Showmanship. But anyway.
I do love that scene. That's a great scene.
It is.
I could go all night with...
I could man, you gotta make me watch that damn movie again.
Well, regardless of what people think about that particular era of Batman, regardless of what people think of that particular era of Batman, guys, without those
watch-along.
Without those Batman movies,
I don't know, but yeah, you were talking about villain. Someone was talking about the villains earlier. Dark Knight trilogy. One of the standouts for me has to be Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow. I really liked his Scarecrow because Cillian Murphy's a good actor. If you haven't seen the 2005 or 6 film Red Eye with him and Rachel McAdams from that film known as The Notebook. It's a darn good thriller directed by the late, great Wes Craven. If you have not seen Red Eye, strongly recommend it. Cillian Murphy gives a chilling performance. Really good stuff. Got to give credit where credit is due. Scarecrow I thought was good. Obviously, we can talk about Jokers all night long. Nicholson I enjoy. Hamill, Mark Hamill's Mark Hamill. Yeah. And one of these days, it's never going to happen, but if I ever find a duffel bag full of cash, I want that 89 Batmobile in my driveway. I just want to point that out. If I get that, Josh, then mine will be bigger.
You want to fight? I see how you want to fight and talk shit about my Kia Soul. That's fine.
I'm sorry, the '66 Batmobile is so much sexier.
That's fine. Right. If you want to have that in your driveway up in Canada, we will ship it and we'll put your check in the mail too, Willow, just so you know. Yeah, man. What other favorite moments do I have that I miss out on? Jeez. I will say this, though, and this is on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube later. My friend and I, who's an actor, he and I reenacted a scene from the 89 film. It was specifically when Joker was in Vicky Vale's apartment, when Bruce Wayne was trying to reveal his secret, I'm Batman. I'm like, just do it already, Bruce. And then he's, saying Alicia threw herself out the window. You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Just that whole scene, and then he says, "I know who you are," and that whole little "never rub another man's rhubarb." And I had no idea what that word means until I had to do some Googling later in life. Thanks,
Oh,
Jack
you
Nicholson.
poor boy.
Yeah, that's a big SAT word, Jack Nicholson. I'll give you that. But as
There
far
has
as,
never been a
we got
bad
lot of
Jack
things coming down the
Nicholson
pipeline
moment.
here with
So
the future of the Batman. We got a film that is going to be coming out somewhere between 2021 and When We Die. It's called The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Matt Reeves, who gave us the last 2 installments of the most recently rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy. Looking forward to seeing what he does with that. I know the comics are never going to quit because comics are comics and they deserve to keep on going and going and going. So my question to the panel is, what are you looking forward to as far as the future is concerned for The Dark Knight? Willow, you're up in Canada. Let's start with you.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing Pattinson. His
Pattinson.
version. Yeah.
Edward.
I'm definitely interested in seeing how he portrays the character, and I hope he has some staying power. Honestly, I want to see him portray this Batman for a while before we have to replace him with another guy. I think I'm done with the changing of the bats personally, but I want to see the continuation of the story as opposed to going back and retelling his origin. Personally, I could do without the origin.
Well, we've seen it 50 billion times in the last 35 years. Gee willikers, Hollywood. All right, I got you. Josh, what are your thoughts on the future for The Dark Knight?
I think this movie is going to be really good. I think what they're planning on doing with it and the HBO series is going to be fantastic because, according to all that's going around, the movie is going to be year 2 of Batman. So you kind of got a Batman that has been established a bit. He's still learning, but you're not getting that origin story there. And the way, the grunge, the darkness, the feel of this movie is going to be
quite embarrassing. I can't hear a word you're saying.
You can't hear a word I'm saying?
Is your mic on?
No.
Is
It's
he on?
on my side.
For some odd reason, I can't hear him.
I hear him.
Should I remove him and bring him back?
My voice is too
Is
sexy.
that what we do when something goes awry?
Must be StreamYard.
I don't know. I got a clear.
I can't. Now I can't hear Garrett.
I can hear everything.
This is so weird.
That's okay. Ryan can actually drop out and come back in.
Sorry, folks. We may or may not be having technical difficulties. I can hear Willow clear as a bell, but I can't hear anyone else, and that's sad.
Hello. Tell Ryan.
Let's try
to drop
Josh
out
again.
and
Hold
come
on a
back.
second.
Can you hear me now?
Josh, I can hear you now. What is it, Garrett? I'm gonna take you
Hello.
just a second and bring you back.
Yeah,
Is
drop me
that okay?
down. Drop me down.
I'm gonna try that. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Let me see. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know why that happened.
There's always technical difficulties.
Hello.
Oh, there's
Okay.
that.
Jeez. I'm like, what?
We did that just so Hanging Out With and I could be all on the same bottom part. We just,
We're hanging out.
we like
Yeah.
to be next.
Keeping it on the DL. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, it's a Batman show. Come on.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we gotta make sure the bat signal's outside there. So we're good. Yeah. So
That's
You
awesome.
got some boys over there. They thought I had.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. Josh, I hate to say this, but do you mind starting over your 5-minute spiel again?
It was 4 minutes, sir.
Sorry, 4 minutes. Would you like to
Don't
say that again
you-
for those of us who may have been able to hear you the first time?
So I'm really interested in seeing this new film. I think it's going to be awesome. We are getting a darker Batman. We're getting a darker tone. We're getting like a year 2 storyline. So the movie's not going to be an origin. Now, the cool thing that they're doing is supposedly this HBO show that is going to be told by the point of view of Gotham PD is going to be the origin story. But you're not getting it directly from behind Batman. You're getting it as the GCPD sees it. And that is a whole new way of telling it through the movies or through like film or anything like that. You normally get Batman's point of view, but now you're going to be seeing this caped crusader or masked bat, however they're going to start it. Year 1 is going to be this TV series And I think that is the coolest idea ever. I cannot wait to see how this all works out. The trailer looks amazing. And the thing I hope for the most in the future stuff, I don't know where he would come in, but and I think Winslow said it in here. I want to see Jensen Ackles as Red Hood in some way, shape, or form. He is dressed up as the character. He looks fantastic, and he did the voice in the animated show or animated movie Under the Red Hood. And I think we haven't really had a live action Red Hood. I think we're supposed to get one in Titans, possibly. But I don't think we're going to get him. It's supposed to be that other guy, maybe. But yeah, if now that Supernatural is ending, I really hope Jensen can get into a Red Hood spot somewhere. Because oh god, I would die a happy man.
That would be a scene or a set of for a character to play in a live action setting. That would be something for the ages. So Sage, Garrett, now that I can actually hear you now, which technical difficulties happen sometimes on this show, what are your thoughts on the future for the character known as Batman?
Well, the immediate future, obviously, Pattinson is set to really deliver, I think, what's going to be a remarkable film. The best part about that is going to be bringing Batman back to his roots as a detective. It's when you see Affleck's Batman, which was a wonderful portrayal of an older Batman, and he says it himself. What's your superpower? I'm rich. By then, he's old. His gadgets and everything else are, keeping him sharp. As a young Batman, though, as the young Cape Crusader, he is a detective. He's Sherlock Holmes in a cape, and I am looking forward to seeing Pattinson bring that to life. Willow, you had alluded earlier to the idea that Batman's always had that noir feel. And that's a part of that, is watching Batman solve the case. When we were watching earlier today, we were watching the 1943 serial. And when we were watching, that is one of the things that stood out about it was it's 1943. They don't have gadgets. They don't have special effects. They don't have visual effects. What they have is dialogue. They have a detective in the form of Bruce Wayne and in the form of Batman who are solving a case. In this case, in the 43 case, it's a spy case. But in Pattinson's case, I look forward to seeing him bring back that roots, to that detective roots. Beyond that, the Batman universe is so vast now. I know everybody in this chat room, everybody that we know knows that Batman is literally going to become the spoke in the DC multiverse right now. That's the character. That's the character that they're going to play off of. They're going to use the Flash film, and of course the Berlanti-verse to show you a multiverse. But they're going to do it using Batman, which is yes, more please. If you're going to have a multiverse and you're going to demonstrate it, how better than do that than putting Keaton and Affleck and whoever else, Conroy, bring them all. I don't care. There can never answer this question. Are there ever too many Batman? Really? So yeah, I think the future's wide open for Batman. I love the Titans series, the darkness of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. Jason Todd's becoming Red Hood this coming season, as I understand it. So that's going to be kind of interesting. So I'm interested in that, and a big screen version of that would be kind of awesome. So
I really like the Bruce Wayne that they have in Titans too. No
one is Bruce Wayne better than Jorah Mormont.
You got it.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Game of Thrones fans, that's for you guys.
But that Bruce Wayne in the Titans he's a really cool Bruce Wayne, a really cool. I don't know what it is about him, but you're like it really just, and you never see him in a Batman or anything of that, but he just plays it off so well, and he carries himself. He kind of carries the darkness a little bit. He's not as brooding as some of the other ones, but you could see a little bit of the pain here and there. He's a little bit of an older one, and he just plays the suaveness and the I don't know what it is. It's just really cool style. So if you haven't checked that out, I definitely, if you're not in the Titans at all and you just want to see a cool Bruce Wayne, check out Titans.
Oh yeah. I think he delivered, man. He really brought it. He brought you a Bruce Wayne that you believed was Batman, even though you never see him as Batman.
Yep.
You just know this guy has a dark side, a dark past. Every line that he delivers has more than one meaning. You could see the frustrated parent in him, along with the crusading crime fighter. So I mean, the actor is wonderful. For those of you that don't know, the actor plays Jorah Mormont in Game of Thrones and delivers a wonderful performance there, right up until his untimely but necessary death.
You know what else is fun about the new Batman?
What?
To see Robert Pattinson without his shirt on.
Also, wait. Also, if they were to show Robert Pattinson with no shirt but without any glitter,
that's good too.
perfect. Yeah,
Please
you can
do
do
not
that.
sparkle during the course of this film.
Don't
Robert. I
sparkle.
really
Batman
appreciate
doesn't sparkle. That's right.
But
Yeah.
this just proves that vampires do become bats.
That's true.
Oh,
That's
Willow,
yes.
no, I don't want to
Yes.
hear that. Not on
Mhm.
Saturday. What are you doing to me here, Sage? Your thoughts on the future for this character known as the Dark Knight? Do you have any thoughts on this matter?
Well, I agree with Josh. I'm very excited that they're not actually starting all over in this new iteration. That it's the second year. I think that Bruce needed to be younger. We needed to see Batman. We need to see him struggle a little more. Not like, the weight of the world is on my shoulders, this horrible mental struggle, but just discovering how he can be the Batman and be successful and not be considered this horrible vigilante. From where the GCPD goes from, God, we have to stop this guy, to, hey, now we want this guy to help us. And I like that it's going to be gritty. I think Pattinson can really pull it off, because I've seen not just, and we all make fun of the Twilight series, but he's done some amazing work on screen. If anybody's had a chance to see just straight up dramas that he's done. So I think he's going to really bring that gravity, but at the same time, we should have some fun as it goes on. And I love the fact that they're going to twist it in with the series, because that'll be interesting to see how they pull all of that into the multiverse and make all of the connections that we all want to see.
And that's the goal, I guess. That's what I'm reading. The goal is to show you glimpses of the tether between the various parts of the multiverse as they move forward, which is really just kind of cool.
Yes.
They have one thing going for them at DC in the films, and that's that they didn't have much going for them in the films. And that, because instead of being like, the counter to Marvel or whatever, which was where I think the producers and the executives wanted to go, instead of being that, it turned out that they just didn't get there. And as a result, creative people had to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what do we have that we can do better than anybody else? Oh, we have 16 different movies out there, and we can just say there's 16 different worlds, and that will tie everybody together. And the idea of saying, well, there's this character, the Flash, that can do that. Let's have him go back and get Michael Keaton and put him in the same room with Ben Affleck and maybe even Pattinson and see what happens. And I'm going, that's a movie executive who's also a writer, because he's brilliant. And he's like, yes, we can tie it all together, but not make it in one continuity. Instead, show me that it's not one continuity, that this same dark, broody, crazy figure exists everywhere you could possibly exist. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on Facebook right now, what they're trying to tell you is there could be a Batman in your neighborhood.
There could be.
That's what they're telling you.
This
it could happen.
Right here could be Batman, and you'd
Quite a few
never
of them in
know.
mine.
He could be Batman. She could be... No.
I am not Batman.
I was gonna say, where are you going with this again? Because now I'm all confused after like the last 3 seconds. But anyway, no, that's
the future of Batman, man. It could be
and
anywhere.
Whenever the film opens, or if it comes up on a streaming, whatever the case may be, we will be there opening weekend to see it, and we want to see some jaws drop, whether it's from the Batman film from Matt Reeves, or it's in the Flash movie where all these Batmen are meeting in some weird pseudo, multiverse scene where, wait a minute, who are you? No, I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. No, but wait.
All right, who just wants to hear Michael Keaton?
Your mom's name is Martha too.
Wait. Why did you say that?
Who just wants to hear Michael Keaton deliver that line one more time?
Just once.
I
want to do is for him to do it just once more, because every time I watch it on film, and Josh, you know this, every time I watch it, I'm just, God, it's so good. It's so good. Like, it's just, ooh, it gives me chills just thinking about it. But man, yeah, Batman's future, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be in the multiverse with a Flash movie that had what, 50 different directors in the last 10 years. It's had 400 different writers, 2 different actors, 3, and now we got more Batman coming in. We got this character coming in from this universe and this one coming in. It's
Not to mention
cats
15
living together,
different
mass
versions
hysteria.
of Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
At least 15, because every time I see him in an interview, he looks completely different. And he's on a different
True.
he's on a different drug, and he's seeing a different
Yeah.
guru. So it's 15 different versions of Ezra Miller right there.
Let's just hope he's not seeing Mike Myers' version of the Love Guru. But anyway, I know, right? I'm sorry to bring back some nightmares for you people watching at home who just caught that reference. I'm sorry, you need therapy. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what happens with this character. Cannot wait to see what happens, whether it be through the standalone films or the DC, what lack there is thereof of a cinematic universe, whatever you want to call it. Warner Brothers, I'm looking at you. But someone brought this up in the chat. Alfred asks, who is your favorite actor to portray the character of Two-Face? So, for me, I mean, one of the first things that comes to mind, I actually really like the animated series version of Two-Face. I think the actor who portrayed him did a fantastic job. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more of him within the series, I think there was a little bit more to build on. But other than that, the only thing that... Yes, I know. 95's Two-Face with Tommy Lee, I know, but... I'll take Aaron Eckhart any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But anyway, what do you guys think? Who's your favorite person to portray Two-Face?
I'm with you. I'm an Aaron Eckhart guy.
Yeah.
I loved the way you watch him become. I don't think we got to see Tommy Lee Jones become Two-Face. We just saw him, get,
As.
you get splashed and then he becomes Two-Face. He's there, but we got to watch Aaron Eckhart become Two-Face, and I love that exploration of character. So he's my favorite.
I'm with you on that. It's, I don't know, just something about the magic of him being, being the good guy that everybody wants to see, and then suddenly becoming the bad guy that, and Heath Ledger's Joker says it best, is where, you can either be a good guy or see yourself becoming the bad guy, and we actually get a chance to see him become the bad guy, which is great. And I think, unfortunately, that's what happens when you live in Gotham for so long, is you tend to be
We all go a
become
little mad
crazy.
sometimes, as a
Society
certain
will
famous
make you
movie
nuts.
character once said.
Society will make you nuts.
The question is, do you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. I mean, it's Michael Keaton. I love you, man. But yeah, Josh, I'm assuming you're an Aaron Eckhart dude, or do you have something else in mind?
I don't know. Like, I kind of like his. I didn't like, looking back now at Tommy Lee Jones, that was just too goofy of one. The cartoons are really good. I think there's one coming. I'm hoping maybe in the new Batman with Robert Pattinson. I hope there's a good one coming, because I feel like we haven't seen the best one yet. The cartoons are pretty close, because he really actually argues with himself a bit more, and you're seeing the two personalities more, I think, in the cartoon version than any other version. But yeah, I don't think, because like when we talk Jokers, automatically Heath Ledger comes to my mind. And I always like Danny DeVito for Penguin, but like I don't really have a Two-Face one, so I think it's coming soon.
Keeping us on our toes there, Joshy boy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see where you're going. Brian says that in the new film, he's looking forward to seeing Paul Dano's portrayal as the Riddler in the Batman with Pattinson. That is going to be interesting, because Paul Dano he can play creepy. We've seen him do creepy. So, Paul Dano, you'll be fine.
Brian also had the comment down there: no love for Billy D. Williams in the role of Harvey Dent or Two-Face. But in fairness, we have to say we never got to see Billy D. We never got to see Billy D. transform into Two-Face, so we don't know that he couldn't have brought that character to life, because we saw a very pre-Two-Face Harvey Dent for like all of 7 seconds.
I mean, he was in the movie for like a total of probably 2 minutes.
Yeah. So, in fairness, it's not Billy D's fault. We don't know that he would have, what he could have brought to that character had they stayed down that path. So,
Well, they did bring him back to play Harvey Dent / Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So everything did come full circle for you, Billy D. Coke 45. So he's fine. Billy D's fine. But yeah, his whole spiel about going after Grissom, the nest of vipers will make this city good for decent people. Decent people shouldn't live here. You'd be better off living someplace else. But that's just Jack talking. What else am I missing here? There are so many great comments. Oh yeah, Jeffrey Wright is going to be playing Commissioner Gordon in in the new film, The Batman. That's going to be good. That is going to be good. Jeffrey Wright is a very gifted, accomplished actor, I think. I mean, one of the first times I saw him was in the Hunger Games movies as well as the James Bond movies as Felix Leiter to Daniel Craig's James Bond. So that's a good
I'm
pick.
looking forward to it. Who's playing, I can never remember his name. Who's playing Alfred in the new movie?
Oh, Andy Serkis.
Yes. I can't wait to see how he's going to play him. I think I think he'll be a little bit more of that, like, hardcore Alfred that can, like, hold his own, too. I see them going that way with it, because in certain comic and cartoon ones, he's, taken out some big people, sneak attacks and stuff, and he's held his own in certain circumstances. So I see Andy Serkis doing that kind of style of Alfred. I'm hoping, anyway.
That
Definitely.
actually would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay, sorry, just filtering through some of these things. Wow, all these different comments. But you guys are really chiming in on whether it's Batman or stuff that's similarly related to the Batman. That is some good stuff. I'm trying to think here. Where is it? Brian says he does love the characters of Batman and Superman, but he hopes that they put the spotlight on other DC characters that may have not necessarily had a chance to have some screen time. That would be nice. I'd like to see more appearances from certain characters. Oh, I don't know. The Question? That would be
Twin
nice.
powers, activate!
Yeah, look, those characters
See?
made an appearance on my show Smallville, and one of them was played by, I believe it's David Gallagher from Seventh Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
They did a good job. Oh, and the girl was the girl twin. What was her name? Allison Scagliotti from Warehouse 13. Both of those actors and actresses did a good job on that brief appearance on Smallville. So yes, we got the Wonder Twins.
Now they also, and in fairness to Sage, they also did was it Titans or was it in the end of the Berlantiverse crossover? They had an illusion. They had a cage
Because they had Gleek.
and they had Gleek.
Yes.
So they had an illusion that that's out there
Yes,
somewhere.
I was so
So
excited.
I was
I
not,
was
but
there.
she was.
Come
She was. I'm
love
not a.
Wonder
Yeah,
Twins.
no. Sorry. What the hell is the point of becoming water? Who came up with that idea?
Mop the floor.
Fall down.
Who came up with that idea? Fire him. Her. It. Whatever.
Cartoon Network ruined those characters for me when they were doing the commercials. That was like the real life stuff commercials for Cartoon Network, and they would put on the older cartoons, and they had the Wonder Twins. Like one turned into a mop, and the other one turned into a bucket, so they could mop the floor of the Justice League or whatever they were.
I'm just saying, she had one of the coolest powers. She could become any animal she wanted to. That was awesome. And he got stuck with, I can become water. What the hell?
Listen, in the middle of a fight, if
That's
he
how-
can't take somebody out, he can at least make them slip and fall, and somebody else is going to take them out because
That's
they're down.
That's how fratricide happens. When my sister
Well-
ends up with the cool power and I end up being water.
Well,
You know?
I mean, one of the characters in a
Hey.
superhero-related film had the similar power to turn into a puddle, and I believe that was in the Disney film Sky High.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Worked out for them. This is a non-Batman related topic, but Brian brings this up, and Brian, you and I are on the same wavelength with this. Man of Steel is a masterpiece. I still hold my ground on that. Amen. Yes, sir.
If only Snyder had actually read a Superman comic, it would have been great.
Oh, ouch.
I mean,
That
no, don't
hurts.
get me wrong, guys. Here's the
That
thing, though.
hurts.
Understand this, and this is a storyteller's thing. As a storyteller, I'm telling you, Superman is by definition a messianic heroic figure. A messianic heroic figure. It's not a hero's journey, not King Arthur. It's Christ. It's Moses. And in fact, Siegel and Schuster actually said as much. They were writing a Moses tale when they wrote Superman. It's documented. So
Well,
Moses doesn't let his dad die because he doesn't want him to show his powers. Christ doesn't let his dad die because he doesn't want him to show his power. His dad has to die. It's part of the journey. You have to remove the mentor. You have to, because he has to stand on his own. But in Superman's case, he's a messianic hero. You have to do it in a way that he cannot avoid, not a way that he can avoid, because it's not a part of his character arc. In fact, it's directly in opposition to his character points. Therefore, while the film was well made, it is not a Superman movie. It is a great superhero movie, but Superman did not make an appearance.
Note to self: never have Garrett on one of my shows ever again. Okay, you've been removed from my Christmas card list, so thanks a lot. You're not going to get one down in South Florida. I will defend, and I do mean this sincerely, I'm going to defend Man of Steel to the end of my days. But anyway, enough about Superman. We're talking about Batman here.
That's right.
So
Don't
Michelle,
ruin the day bringing him up.
I'm not. I'm sorry, Josh. I apologize. There can't be room for more than one hero on this show, at least for tonight anyway. Michelle says the multiverse and the different Earths is super fascinating. I love the idea of bringing them all then together within the Flash movie that is coming up. That is a good thing. I look forward to that. Alfred says, I'm sorry, I like Aaron Eckhart, but I have to say, the Shatner Man, William Shatner, playing along Adam West in the animated film, if I'm remembering this correctly, Batman versus Two-Face. I haven't seen those films, I cannot comment or speculate.
I haven't actually seen that, so I'm actually just, my brain just busted when I read it, because all I could think of is Batman. You shouldn't. I just see, see, it kills me. See, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm really. I'll try it. I'll check it out, but I'm just not seeing it in my head.
I don't know.
I've caught it a couple times on TV. It's not a bad movie, but it's definitely trying very hard to be the '66 Batman.
It's goofy.
And somebody else brought up the Batman and TMNT movie. And
yes, that was Brian.
The comics are better. I will say the comics are way better. The stories are better through it. And the other thing that bothered me about that particular movie was the animation style they went with. It wasn't the normal animation style that you've been seeing in a lot of the DC ones. They kind of like did an off thing. And the way they drew the turtles drives me insane.
Guys, I don't want to interrupt too much, but Ryan? John Wick has a friggin' question. You should ask it.
Yeah,
have you seen those friggin' movies? Dude, ask this question. We're all going to get killed.
We didn't talk
I am gonna believe me. I'm gonna bring the comment up on our screen in just a moment. I just wanted to make sure that Josh finishes his thought. Josh, anything else before I bring this up?
No, we're good. I don't want to get shot.
Okay. So the next time I make a Target run, note to self: do not buy the Batman versus Ninja Turtles animated film.
If animation bothers you, do not buy it.
Okay. I mean, I saw bits of it on TV because they aired it on Nickelodeon a couple weeks ago. I thought it was okay.
It's all right.
Great.
It's not
I
the
might
worst.
buy it on my next Target run. But anyway, this is great. I love hearing from the viewers on Facebook and all the other platforms that we're streaming on. This is the first time I'm bringing up a comment from Twitch, and it's from a great hero of ours, someone who has taken upon himself to take out our worst enemies with a pencil. What was the other thing? A book. He killed a man with a book. Okay, he killed someone with a book in Chapter 3. John Wick says, "What are your views on the new Batman film trailer?" Now, John Wick. I don't want to say this wrong. John Wick. First of all, you're a great human being. You're a great character, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck in your next 40 films that are coming out, as well as the spin-off series that hopefully we're going to get called The Continental. Very much looking forward to exploring that. But as far as the trailer goes, I'm assuming you're referring to The Batman with Robert Pattinson and company. When the trailer dropped, I watched it 2 or 3 times. Why? Because I liked the song that was featured in the trailer. I liked the atmosphere they were building within the trailer. And I liked how intriguing and eerie and creepy it was. And the Riddler is like putting all these clues out for Batman to follow. And Batman's like, where do I fit in all of this? And the Riddler's doing I think he's doing mostly the monologue that's the voiceover that's featured within the trailer. And I'm like, ooh, that's pretty good. You had my you've already had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. So I will be there opening weekend. That is a fact, Jack. Josh Bauer of J. Bauer Art. We may have mentioned a few things about this a little bit earlier on, but just to satisfy John Wick's curiosity, saw the trailer, film at 11.
Yeah, I could not wait for this movie. I was already excited. I was already hyped up for it because anytime we get something new Batman, I'm excited. I don't care about people like, hey, it's a new Batman. Wah, wah, wah." No, I want new Batman all the time, every time. And we're getting every Batman you see is a different style, even between the cartoons and the comics. You're just getting a different version, and we are getting a dark version. Just the music alone that kicks off this freaking trailer is I watched it 3 or 4 times the first time it dropped just to catch everything. It's a huge difference between watching it on your phone and then finally watching it on a bigger screen. Oh, and then my favorite part is he goes and they're like, "Who the hell are you?" And he goes and grabs that one bad guy and just beats the hell out of him. And it reminds me of the Arkham games. And it just bah, 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 bah. And then you're like, okay, Batman, he's done. And then he hits the ground, and then he hits him again. And you're like, Batman, he's done. And then he punches him like 2 more times for good measure. And then he says, "I'm vengeance." And I'm like, yeah, I'm sold. I will be there. I'll wear a mask. I'll wear gloves. I'll wear full body suit. I don't care what it is. I will be at that thing opening weekend.
Yep.
Willow, I'm assuming you are going to echo his thoughts.
Absolutely. You know what? Because I don't have a thought of my own. Everything
Say
that Josh
what?
said. No, I really am looking forward to seeing the new Batman film for sure. The trailer was just fantastic, and I was just like, yes, a Batman that I can get behind. That I'm actually being. I was not a fan of the Twilight series at all, and my husband is a fan, and I've tried sitting with him watching.
That's not a
series.
sentence you hear very often.
That is not something you hear on the
He
interwebs
doesn't want
every day of the
people.
week.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, hon, but
Okay, wait,
no.
I gotta ask real quick.
Well-
I gotta ask. Is he Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Yes.
Oh,
What is
you
what
know
is he?
what?
What is
I
he?
don't think I've ever actually sat down and talked to him fully
We
about
need
that.
the answer. Bro.
We need evidence.
The interwebs need to
Where
know.
is
John Wick from Twitch wants to know this.
John Wick wants to know. That's right.
That's true. I
Yeah.
think what they managed to do with the trailer, when they showed it, was really well done. Especially with everything that has been going on lately, because we were all
Yeah.
afraid, are we going to get one? Are we not? And they desperately wanted to give the fans something to bite on and grab hold of. And I think that they did a fantastic job pulling all of that together.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can say about a trailer in terms of teasers are designed to tease. A
Exactly.
good one does it. This one did it.
Mm-hmm.
Take my money.
Yes,
But
please.
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm excited to see him branching out from the Twilight series. I know he was in a Harry Potter film, and he did a great job
Cedric
in that
Diggory,
one.
if I remember correctly.
Goblet of Fire.
So, and it's great to
Harry
see
Potter.
actors that you see that are known for one character playing another character so well, and I'm excited for that.
Oh, man.
Robert doesn't even like Twilight.
Well, and Robert
look.
Pattinson, if you check out, and I think Ryan and I talked about this in my show when we did some the fandom
Sure.
thing. Robert Pattinson, just even if you don't want to watch the movies he's in, because he's in some weirder movies and some like deeper than what I want to watch movies. I like action movies. I like things like that. But
He's been in
Lighthouse,
the Lighthouse recently.
Yes.
just watch the trailers to his movies. And the one that is dropping on Netflix, I never remember the name, but my wife and I are really interested in it. It's like a creepy movie, and he plays a priest in it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you watch just the trailer of that, he's talking. He's the voiceover through the whole beginning part of the trailer. I did not realize that was him until they show him actually like talking, and you see the voice come out of him, and you're like, "Holy crap, that was him!" He really gets into his characters. He really changes up. Twilight is nothing what he can do. Just go and watch a couple of trailers of different movies of him, and you will see this guy's range. And he's gonna pull this off. And we only saw when this trailer came out. It's what 30% of the film was
25% actually.
Yeah. So I mean, to pull a trailer like that out of that little bit of film, I mean, come on.
It's. I truly believe it's going to be going places. Brian says he's looking forward to seeing Colin Farrell's portrayal of the Penguin in this movie, the Batman, which he is featured in the trailer. But Colin Farrell's unrecognizable in this trailer. I will say that as Penguin, he shows up, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who this is, but fair.
In all fairness, though, that is one of Colin Farrell's strong suits, is showing up in places and you having to look at him like 5 times and go, do I know who that guy is? Because when he just transforms for every part. But he doesn't do it physically, which is really amazing to me. Like, he can just, his face turns into anything he wants it to be. I think he really is a wizard.
The wizard.
Yeah, because it turns his face into whatever he wants it to be for that film. He's been fat.
You're a wizard, Colin.
He's been fat from here up. Who can get fat from here up and then not gain a pound down on the rest? That's insane, Colin Farrell. How do you do that? But he does it. He does it every time. I've seen him in so many different parts where I'm like, I know that actor. I know that actor. Just a combination of the haircut and the makeup and the things that they do to him. He brings a character to life. So that is going to be a good character to see. Danny DeVito had to look like the Penguin to be the Penguin. Colin Farrell doesn't have to look like anything. Create a character that turns into water. It will piss off
Says,
Garrett.
note to self: don't create a character that turns into water. It will piss off someone known as Garrett.
All right, things for tomorrow. Create water character. Got it. Cool.
There you go. See, Josh takes anti-notes. That's the thing.
Yep.
Oh, hey Josh, ready? Here we go. Yeah, high five.
Yeah,
there we go.
other way.
Yeah.
There you go. 1, 2,
I don't
and 3.
understand
Marker.
technology.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
This is what happens when you hire the handicapped. You get that.
the internet,
We're not
we're gonna
allowed to talk
see
about
2
Ryan
people
like that.
trying to get high five.
Oh,
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing a damn thing. You just threw him under the bus for fun.
I was throwing you under the bus.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of people under buses tonight.
They're
I know.
all-
Seriously, this is what I have to deal with every morning. I deal with children. Why do I keep coming back to this? Why do nerd culture and I, because nerd culture is a team, it's not just one person, but it's like, why do we keep coming back to this, Caroline? And then Travis is like, because it's fun. I'm like,
It is
sure,
fun.
Travis, keep telling yourself that. Travis, good Lord Almighty. By the way, for those of you who have been watching us and have been sharing this and commenting in the chat, we really appreciate it. You've been asking us really good questions. I love the questions personally,
I will
and
be
some of the
right
funny
back. I'm
comments.
still
And
listening.
anyone who throws shade at Garrett is my new best friend. So
We appreciate it, and we will
That-
use it now.
You know, that just made Ryan the most popular man on the interwebs.
Yes.
Because they're all like, oh, hell yeah, I'm in on that.
gotta get the top out.
good Lord Almighty.
I'm surprised he's not done with me today because we were hanging out at his place for what, like 8 hours
Yes.
or so?
Yeah, we put the stuff on he put the stuff on the truck.
He did. We watched.
Yeah.
And then we
and I had to bad Garrett. Bad
Yeah, I got pushed. I got told sit down, Pop. I got pushed back, and then we watched a little bit of the Batman from
We
the
did.
1943 serial. We watched
awesome.
in the background, and we,
Josh has a question. Wait.
yeah.
Where can we watch those if we missed them today? Because we
Well,
were
as a matter of fact, Josh, you can see them on HWWS Web TV. Simply go to our video section, and under playlist, you will find The Batman 1943, along with the description and all of the credits from all of those fantastic
All 15
actors.
episodes.
All 15 episodes are there, and the teaser, as a matter of fact. So,
Indeed.
yes.
I'll be watching that tomorrow. Because we were catching a few episodes. And they're just so like cheesy and different and so like. Okay, so everybody complained. I was actually thinking about it while we were sitting there watching. Everybody complained when Ben Affleck became Batman because he's too thick or not, blah blah blah. They never saw this Batman. He was a big boy. He was kind of the thick Batman.
He's got a little Dunlap disease there.
There's no detail to his body of.
It's when this stuff here Dunlap's over.
Yeah, they're just so off. We're sitting there trying to have conversations, and the guy that I'm hanging with has it on the big screen, and I'm just like sitting there watching this. I'm like, this is just some goofy stuff. It's fantastic.
It was actually kind of cool to see. I enjoyed when we put it on. We did the history of Batman. This is Batman Day today, guys. We wanted to look into that.
That's right.
And one of the things that we did when we found out with that series is that the modern Alfred that we know was created by that serial. Also, the Batcave. There was no Batcave before that. They created the Batcave in this 1943 serial, and it became a staple of the comics later on. So there were a lot of things that were staples of what we know as Batman that were born out of that film serial rather than out of the original comic from Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Who again, this is a great example in the opening credits. Bill gets zero, not a mention.
Well, yeah, because this is from
Based on the
1943.
character Batman from Bob Kane, and this is 1943.
Kane, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bill doesn't get any credit until way later on. In fact, he gets his first credit in Gotham,
Yeah, well,
season
the
2, and
first
then
movie
in
was
Batman v
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah, BVS. It's very
BVS
that's very
was
true.
the first time he got credit for that. So,
Poor Bob.
and
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say poor Bob.
John Wick
but
has another question.
Yeah, I gotta
John
bring
Wick,
this up.
we will answer anything you want to know because we're afraid of you.
Exactly. We don't want to be killed by a we don't want to be killed by a pencil or a book. If you haven't seen John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, look it up. It's a darn good film. But which
Oh,
actor
guys,
which
we're
actor
gonna
has
start
been your
a-
favorite portrayal of the Joker? That is
Oh
really not
God, we'll
what-
start we're going to start a riot on the internet if we start answering that question. Because I mean, who didn't perform
Everybody.
well?
I know, really. There's no right or wrong answer to this question.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Right.
hold on. So then I have a question that goes along with that, talking about the
Yeah.
Joker, because we recently just rewatched the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
It's technically not, necessarily,
It is. He's
Oh,
a Joker.
but
Joaquin
he is the
Phoenix.
Joker. And
Yeah,
yes,
Joaquin Phoenix.
And I really enjoyed that portrayal. I can't say that it's necessarily my favorite, but I liked that they ground it in actuality. That was really cool. It scares you.
I think Nicholson's a go-to guy, but only because he's Nicholson. I mean,
And
he's never done a bad part. He's been crazy, he's been psychotic, he's been a murderer, and then he was the Joker on top of that. So I mean, it's Nicholson. So I go to Nicholson. He's my go-to Joker, but I have to admit, I enjoy thinking that all these Jokers exist in one universe because there's a fan theory out there on the internet that is awesome, which is that the Joker is not a person; it's a mantle, and that it's passed on.
Like the Dread Pirate Robert.
Like the Dread Pirate Rider, exactly.
Gotcha.
And the Batman Beyond series actually feeds into this with the movie, The Return of the Joker, where they show
great
you.
movie too.
Batman Beyond.
That's a
Oh, yeah,
great
there you
movie
go.
too.
So, and again, and there's another example of where is the future of the Batman going, and Batman Beyond. There are so many people out there that want to see a Batman Beyond. They want to see an old Bruce Wayne, and I think I'm with Josh. Let's get Jorah Mormont over here to be Bruce Wayne on the big screen and mentor a young
Terry
Batman.
McGinnis.
Terry McGinnis, yeah. I think,
We have Keaton back.
Oh, yeah, we got Keaton back. He could do it.
I would love because there's been a couple of people that have done posters and some artwork of him as older Bruce.
Yeah.
Man, he looks just like you're like that.
Conroy's version,
would
yeah.
be everybody's first pick is Michael Keaton, and
The only difference between him and Kevin Conroy's older Batman in the series is Michael Keaton's about 5'2". So whereas
Really?
Kevin Conroy's animated Batman, he always stood up and he was like this giant, massive guy. And then
Right.
you look at Michael Keaton and you go, all right, I can see it. Whatever. All right, just make him wear big shoes. So. Yeah.
They did it quite well with all the Avengers movies because a couple of the Avengers are quite shorter than the other ones. Like,
Yes.
If you look at
Well,
you look at the airport scene in Civil War, you can tell how some characters are a bit taller than others.
Mhm.
Yep.
They
During Civil War.
they do the magic of movies with Tom Cruise and him taller than
Yeah, they managed to make Tom Cruise look tall,
Really
which is
tall.
really tall, and he really isn't. So that's
angry.
good on you guys. You guys, you gotta love the camera angle. I look short even when I'm on my own camera. I can't make myself
Yes.
look tall.
He's a pocket person.
Really?
Gee willikers. Yeah, I mean, my favorite Jokers, I can't really pick one as a favorite because there's just so many good ones. I mean, I grew up on the Nicholsons and obviously the Mark Hamills of the world and, other people who have portrayed the character of the Heath Ledger, of course. So there's really no right or wrong answer, John Wick. But if I had to pick one, the one that gave me the most nightmares, I mean, Ledger, 2008. Whoo! Yeah, I had some problem. That it's like Paul Giamatti once said. There's an image that's going to keep me up tonight. You terrified me, Heath Ledger. I'll give you that. But I gotta say, Mark Hamill, gosh, he's scary. He's a scary mother effer. I'm telling
Would
you.
anybody like to see? Because I think this would be cool. Would anybody like to see Mark Hamill, the actor, as the Joker? Because I hear that in the studio,
not the trickster.
not the trickster, the
Yeah,
Joker.
I was gonna say
the
Yeah,
version of the
I
trickster.
hear because I do hear this from other actors and directors who say this, that when Mark is in the studio, he's performing. He performs while he's doing his voice performance. And so I've always wondered, God, if he's doing all that performing and he's doing all the, when he's doing the Joker, wouldn't it just be cool to just throw the makeup on him and see what it would look like?
Yeah.
The internet, you have the power to make this happen. Mark Hamill likes you people on the internet, so make it happen.
One of the ideas that I thought of was to see Mark Hamill host the Oscars and do a musical number with all the frickin' Harleys.
That would be
I
awesome.
vote for her idea.
Yeah. Willow for president.
Yeah.
That is a
If she can make that happen. Yeah, because that's awesome. That's
I
fantastic.
think that would be a great thing. Like Mark Hamill can sing. Mark
Yeah, and
Hamill can be
I
an
want to
awesome
see him.
host.
I just want to see him all done because, like I said, everybody says he performs in the studio. They're all like, he doesn't just stand in front of the mic and do his thing. He performs in the theater, and I'm like, that would be killer to see, especially if we made him up.
Guess what?
Mhm.
Ryan
Got him to do
totally
that.
missed her suggestion because he disappeared for a second.
Oh.
'cause
That's
he's
right.
a wizard.
I said
Yes.
that one of the ideas that I thought of was having Mark Hamill host the Oscars and have him do a musical number with all the Harleys.
That would be something for the ages. I will say that. If Mark Hamill would have performed this character in live action, I would be interested to see it. I'm not necessarily hungry for it because there's been so many other different iterations of the character, and his iteration as the animated version of the Joker is just so epically good, and I don't want anything to I wouldn't say anything would tarnish it, but it's not like I'm not sure. I don't know, but I will say
I
this
think it's
though.
more just the age now that would mess with it.
I think he's running out of time. Internet, if you want to see this happen, you guys have to get a hold of Mark Hamill today,
Do it now.
because he's not getting younger tomorrow or the next day or the next day or next weekend.
That's
So,
very true. It's very
yeah.
true. But I will say, in this Willow, I think you'll get a kick out of this. If they do this for this iteration of Batman live action with Robert Pattinson playing the role, not in the first movie because they got to set up the character and they got to introduce these villains because I know they're doing a couple of different members of the Rogues Gallery of Batman's villains into this movie, so that's going to be fun. If in a sequel to the Robert Pattinson version, if they make a hint or an Easter egg to someone named Andrea, and they start to bring in this live action version of Andrea Beaumont, which is a sweet number. How did you let her get loose? Thanks for the handkerchief, Arthur. You know where you can stick it. And they bring in the Phantasm. How is your jaw just going to be completely removed from your face and be on the floor somewhere?
I think you will hear the audible yes coming from the back of the movie theater.
What, is it going to be like the When Harry Met Sally version of the word yes?
Or I think it'll be more like yes.
I had to ask.
Finally.
I had to ask.
Yeah.
I had to ask. I would like to see them adapt the live action version of the Phantasm into the Batman.
There's just
universe
somebody in the
so much
line
more.
outside that theater going, I'll see what she's seeing.
Ooh, Josh isn't impressed with that joke, Garrett. Josh is like, why did I sign up for this show again?
Oh, I always know what I'm signing up for.
Alfred says
Especially
I
when
saw.
that guy-
Alfred says he saw a fan art version of Christian Bale as the character of the Joker. I think that would be cool. Well, we
Yeah.
did see him kind of play the Joker in American Psycho,
Yeah.
Didn't we?
I don't know about that.
didn't we
That's-
see him play
that's-
the Joker in American Psycho, where he says, "Do you like Huey Lewis in the news?" Hey,
Yeah,
hey Paul.
that's the
You know.
truly the darkest end of the Joker spectrum would be American Psycho. Just give him some green hair and call it a day. Somebody's probably done that.
I am Patrick Bateman. It's
I'm
kind of
hoping-
like somebody saying Matt Damon.
I'm hoping if Joker does come into these newer movies, I don't even want to see him in the second one. I want him to wait until he comes into the third. I
Build
think
it up.
he should be like the final boss, like depending on how many they're doing. But he should be like the final boss, like a video game, and come in the third film to really wreck himself. Because I mean, if you go and do him in this, he should not make an appearance in the first one. It's already stacked full of a bunch of different people. And then if you put him
It's
into
like
the
4
second
villains.
one, yeah, you put him into the second one, you're basically doing what Christopher Nolan did. So there's going to be so many comparisons there. So I think he should wait until the third, and I would be fine if like at the very end of the movie they tease him or something of that nature, but he makes his full appearance in the third.
That's a good idea, because I did like the way they did it in Nolan's stuff. At the very end of Batman Begins, it's
Mhm.
like, you know, armed robbery, double homicide, has a taste for the theatrical, like you, leaves a calling card, flips it over, and the theater. I think everybody in the theater in 2005 were like, "Oh my God, they're going there!"
Yeah.
Like, yes, and then he's
Yep.
like, "I'll look into it." Sorry, that was my best version of the growly voice. I can't do that for you, Christian, but I can do Michael Keaton, because Michael Keaton, he didn't need to alternate his voice. He just looked at a guy and he's like, "What are you?" "I'm Batman." Throws him over the side. It's like, yes, that's my Batman. Anyway, it's getting late. I'm probably tired. Some people around this room may be tired. We're going to wrap things up, but I do want to say, before we leave, you awesome people who have been watching, who have been commenting, who have been sharing this out to your friends, your families, your coworkers, the dogs, the cats, the 7 cats living up in Canada with Willow at their house, whatever. And she's going to be in the new remake of the Aristocats, which will probably be a better live-action adaptation than some of the most recent ones. Disney, we're looking at you, but we can talk more about that later.
All my money to my cats.
Exactly, all the money
$10.
goes to thy cats. Mittens, we're looking at you and Twinkie. But anyway, enough about cats. I want to go around the horn. Where can the good people find you online? Josh Bauer, where can the good people of these interwebs find you and all the projects that you are currently working on?
So if you go on to any social media and type in J Bauer Art, all one word, you can find all my stuff, artwork, graphic design, video editing, which is now becoming a thing thanks to GW. It's becoming even more of a thing, and the podcast Back Talk with Bauer and Back Talk with Friends. I will say you could go to jbauerart.com, but I am currently waiting for the approval process of the new website. So hopefully by Monday-ish it'll be up and running, because right now it goes nowhere. So just type in J Bauer Art on any of your social media and you'll be able to find all the good stuff I do.
Fabulous, fabulous. So we wish you the best of luck with all those wonderful things that are coming your way very, very soon. Our friend to the great white north, Willow, darling, where can the good people of the interwebs find you online?
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can even find me on YouTube. I am the social media socialite. I have my page is called Skylar Productions. You can find my show there, Willow's Pillow Talk. And I apologize.
And there's a phone
I
call
have to
on
try to
line
call me.
1.
Hello. Man, they got on.
Man, we got
Give me a
some
moment,
killer
I will
old
get
school
back.
landlines.
I'll call you back later.
What is that thing?
That's an actual phone?
Wait a minute, that's an actual landline?
That's a phone.
Oh, he's in
I'm
Canada.
knocking stuff over.
They
I'm
haven't
sorry.
gotten
Yes,
up
it
yet.
is my
That's a
landline.
phone?
Wow.
Oh, that is a phone. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
And that's-
Oh, wait. That's, oh, I know. That's a Canadian iPhone.
That is a Canadian iPhone. I'm going to point to that right here on my screen.
The
It's right
crazy
over
thing
here.
is, number one, it's a landline. Number two, it's not even like one of those move around ones. It's got the cord and everything.
Windy cord.
Yep. Wow.
We
Did
are
I-
very old school here in Canada.
Before the phone rang and the world was calling your name, Willow, is there anything else you needed to plug? Because I didn't want to forget anything.
No, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
I'm making that
Line
into a
1, never
clip
call
later.
Willow when she's doing a live show in front of millions of people, including our friend John Wick, who's on the, what is it, the Twitch channel?
Calling.
Oh, by the way, Thomas says, "Oh, Canada." Oh, what is this,
But-
Thomas? Where we still have land.
Maybe
By the
that was
way,
Thomas
um,
By
calling
the
you.
way, Thomas, the fact that you're back from
Yes.
from filming, welcome home.
Welcome home, Thomas.
Welcome home,
Cannot
Thomas.
wait to
We
see
miss
more
you. We
pictures
love you, and
from
we care
your
about
movie
you.
that you are making.
Yeah, he's making a great film. He's got a lot of other projects coming his way. Thomas, we are happy that you're back, brother. We love you to pieces. But before we leave, because I can't forget about these two wonderful people at Hanging with Webster Web TV, Sage Garrett, thank you so much for having me host this craziness known as a shindig of a show for Batman Day of 2020. Because make no mistake, this is 2020. Sage, Garrett, where can the good people find you on the
And
interwebs?
Dina.
And Dina, yes, Dina, we love you to pieces.
And Dina's
too.
hand.
Dina's
There it is.
It's not
There's
Dina.
Dina's hand. Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
Where can the good people find you on the interwebs, my friend?
You can find us all over social media at Hanging With Show or at HWWS Web TV. And anywhere that these fine, wonderful people all around the screen are, usually we are somewhere in the back of the room stalking them. Pop is always watching. But check us out at hwwswebtv.com or hangingwithwebshow.com. That's
HANGIN with show.com.
I just love it when she does that. It's really cool. So just check us out on social media, Hanging With Web Show or HWWS Web TV, where you can find shows from all of these awesome people, and Thomas Carter Rochester, and Reels and Heels with Brian Wenslop, and there's just more coming, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the internet's first true collaborative, cooperative social media television network.
Okay, and you can't forget one more thing because of Thomas Carter Rochester, which reminds
Yes.
me, because Thomas has a song currently in the top 10 on the HWWS Indie Music Radio station, which anybody can listen to. All you have to do is say, "Okay, Google, talk to Indie Music Radio."
Or you can say,
Or you can enable your Alexa device and just say, "Alexa, play Indie Music Radio."
"Yep, she did. Haha, it works."
Like people are yelling at Alexa, "Shut up!"
Everybody on the internet just now went, "I hate those people.
Yeah, sorry.
What did they just do?"
Oh, and a lot of us are on. I don't know if everybody saw it, but a lot of us are on. What is it? Amazon Music now.
Yeah,
Amazon
Yes.
Podcast Music. Most of us made the list. Somehow I made the list too. I don't know how, but we find this on pretty much any podcast app now.
Hey, Ryan.
Where can everybody
all
find
folks
you?
Well, it's funny you should ask, my good friends. Before I bring up my visual prop, I do want to say that
Uh-oh.
you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at It's Nerd Culture. You can follow us on social media there. Check out our YouTube channel. It's known as Nerd Culture. A lot of great videos are up there right now. A lot of new ones coming your way very soon. And we do have a Redbubble store where you can go online and buy merchandise now. So you can buy stickers. Josh. You can buy iPhone skins, laptop skins, tumblers, coffee mugs, and even this ridiculously good-looking shirt that has my name plastered all over it that says Ryan the Quote, because that is my nickname in real life, and it's also my nickname when I'm competing in movie trivia matches. So check us out on Redbubble, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. And we want to take this opportunity to say thank you all for joining us. Happy Batman Day to all the Batman fans out there. Thank you to Bob Kane and Bill Finger for creating a character that we really appreciate, we really love. We can't stop talking about it. Hopefully one day we will not go bats and lose our minds, because we hope to stay sane and make it through this pandemic, because the pandemic is the struggle is real. But you know what? We're going to be here for you with all the best in entertainment that we can possibly provide you. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Watch movies, watch some Batman stuff, read a comic book, stay healthy, stay strong, stay safe. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.